Hey guys, Kuri Rinji here, once again bringing you the worst out of the VTuber community. And today we have a really special one. A subject that really proves that VTubing really intersects with everything and everyone. This subject is Tim Pool, former Vice journalist turned culture warrior, still journalist, although his credentials are kind of up in space right now, considering the topic of today's video. We'll get into that all eventually, don't worry. Well, Tim Pool recently had certain opinions about VTubers that weren't so rosy. But Tim Pool has probably a lot of people don't know this, but Tim Pool has a short history when it comes to talking about VTubers. And it all started in December of 2021, exactly December 13th or 14th, depending on how you look at it. During one of his Timcast IRL podcasts, episode 426, Tim mentions that his show, Timcast IRL, is one of the most super chatted shows in the world, and only above him are VTubers, which he describes as sexy anime girls. We'll get into his comments soon too. And let's take a look at it. Here is a part of the podcast in which Tim showcases that he's number 15, just below Watame and Korone. But that's not everything. Tim also mentions that the sexy anime Minecraft girls are the only thing standing in our way from being the most super chatted show. And knowing Tim's opinions, he's always very opinionated. So let's take a listen of what he had to say about VTubers during the show.
I'm just happy that we got that all done in like less than 30 minutes. That usually takes me like 2 to 2.5 hours.
Wow, we're happy to help. Yeah.
I do want to make one quick announcement. Let me see if I can pull this up.
Yes.
As before we get into super chats.
My favorite
I have great news. This has actually been true for a while, but I didn't actually think much about it until today. Nick, who's part of the Castle crew, he was like, "Hey, did you know that Timcast is the 15th highest super chatted show in the world?" And I was like, "No, is that true?" I know it was true during the election, but that to me wasn't surprising. But actually, the only channels that are above us, save from maybe a couple exceptions, are sexy anime waifus, and they play Minecraft.
And now you know where all my money went to.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say.
Sorry, honey.
People said VTubers are beating
401k went to.
Well, I'll say this though. I'm not here to compete with sexy anime waifus.
You can't. Sorry.
Yeah, and you can't. But surprisingly,
These comments are gonna come back to bite him in the ass, as in recent days he didn't have such a neutral stance on VTubers anymore, and some people may think of that as a sign of jealousy.
there's no one above us who does a regular show.
I'm amazed.
So if we're actually talking about human beings live talking about something, anything, no matter what it is.
Well, human beings, as if VTubers aren't real human beings, you might infer from that comment he doesn't think of them as such.
We get more super chats than anyone else. Like literally more than video game players, Minecrafters, PUBG. We are the top. And so I checked and triple checked this, and yeah. And then I actually found out, this is crazy, in terms of viewership, we are the 12th highest viewed show on the internet.
Higher than H3.
So Tim, you probably know by now this is a stick up.
Now you tell him.
So there's a bunch of, look at this. We got, Pat McAfee. You've got Tim the Tatman. A bunch of people above us, H3 just below us, and PUBG Mobile down. I'm bringing this up just to say thank you to everybody. I didn't really think about like the size of the show or what this meant. Like being number 12 on YouTube is big, and being the most super chatted show, dude, you guys are making all of this possible, and I really, really appreciate it. And I also thought it was just really funny because now all of your support gets to put us on a list of all these sexy anime waifus.
Yeah, but if you want to be number one, Tim, you got to put on lingerie and play Minecraft. That's the strategy. Right there.
What we were thinking of doing is
ASMR.
Lingerie beanies.
Making a sexy anime chicken waifu,
Yes.
and then have an automated Minecraft. But we'll just have emote buttons on a stream deck to where like when a creeper comes, the chicken goes like, and then like when the chicken, dies or loses something, it goes, and then we just make a stream where it's funny and it's like.
Tim, are you a gamer?
And that's his opinion from 2021, the end of 2021. Fast forward to current year, to February 8th, where Tim had a different opinion, had a much different opinion on the subject. During one of his videos called Cringe Videos, video shows e-girl influencer dancing in Home Depot, AI thoughts will replace e-girls soon, in which he explains that the emergence of AI, the emergence of all of these software tools are going to be net negative on society. And during that same video, he makes the following observation about VTubers.
Now, what would happen if instead of using his real voice and posting on his typical schedule, it was a deep fake, or not even a deep fake, an AI generated person with an AI manipulated voice. So you can record yourself talking and then press render and it changes your appearance. People do this. There have been women, old women, who use filters to make themselves look young. They've been busted when the filter dropped and all of a sudden people realize that's a 50-year-old woman. There are even people, some of the biggest super chatted channels, VTubers, anime women going hee hee ha ha and playing video games, and it's some big fat dude doing it, but people are giving them money. So I see these posts on Instagram, and
well, Tim, you're a journalist, and comments like that are kind of unbecoming of you because, finding out that the VTuber is just a step away. It's like a Google result away. And considering how popular VTubers are, I don't think you have much of an excuse to make comments similar to what dude bros or, let's say, normies would make in like early 2000s when it comes to like the existence of women on the internet. If some of you remember some of the people that were around back in the day on the internet in like early 2000s, there used to be this meme or rather this belief from normies that all traces of women on the internet were fake, and that every single instance of a female appearance was supposed to be some kind of dude. And this is Tim's stance on all of that. So, as someone who is this big journalist, prides himself on being accurate and factual, why would you make a statement like that that's incredibly insulting to thousands upon thousands of people? Whereas you could just do, a single click research on it and you'd find out that most VTubers are actually, if you think about it, are actually quite attractive behind their anime sexy waifu avatars, as Tim would put it. But Tim being Tim, he managed to advance on that playboard. His super chat revenue has risen. In over a year, he managed to get into 12th place, and now he's below Aqua and several other VTubers still. However, below him is Watame, Mori, Flare, Miko, and Korone. So, I'm not saying you should do anything, because that's that's not something I would encourage. But maybe Tim would start to take VTubers a bit more seriously. If he just went into or other Watames or Moris or Flares or Mikos or even Korone's stream and donate just a bit. I mean, they aren't that far off from Tim at this point, so Tim may just get his just desserts. And I know you probably won't watch this, Tim. In terms of YouTube channel size, I'm like a speck of dust in the wider YouTube universe, but Tim, if you're a journalist of any renown, please do your research first before speaking out of your ass, because it makes you look ignorant. I know you don't care about all of this this particular nerd stuff, even though you're a self-proclaimed nerd, but it makes you look really petty and somewhat jealous, considering how many VTubers are still ahead of you. But you know, it is what it is, and Timcast will Timcast. But for now, that's everything, and I hope to see you on the next one.